Good morning, everybody. For those of you who feel like you might benefit from a walkthrough with looking for run-ons and fragments, I'm going to give it my best go this morning with my 1 cup of coffee. So in front of me, I have a paper written by a student last year, and I'm going to pretend that I'm this student and that I'm looking for run-ons and fragments and try to walk you through some of the thought processes that might be beneficial. When you look at your own writing and you're trying to examine if there's run-ons and fragments, you got to realize that the reason why this is such a crucial mistake is simply about clarity and the amount of information that's being unfolded at one time, and that really what you're doing is looking for independence, the pieces of sentences that communicate a full idea, and making sure that when you move from one idea to another idea, that the punctuation supports that movement, and that you're following those traditional English rules of how to join sentences together. I'm going to not try to trick you, so I'm just going to read through and I'm going to stop at the sentence errors and point them out. I'm looking for independence, so I'm going to continue on through this sentence until I get to where it could stand by itself. This is a photo of Mother Teresa. So that stands by itself. So if I'm worried about run-ons and fragments, I have to examine the rest of this sentence to see if any of it could be chopped off or if any one of it could be separated from this core part of the sentence to see if it could stand independently. This is a photo of Mother Teresa, who is seen as one of the most compassionate women in history. This who phrase is just descriptive. It can't stand by itself. It doesn't have a subject and a verb or just that independent idea. So I'm going to leave that sentence alone. Born in present-day Macedonia. As of right now, this can't be an independent sentence. It'd have to be she was. There'd have to be that subject and that verb together. So this is a descriptive phrase. Here's where I hit independence. She was named, oh boy, Agnes Gonza, and you'll just have to deal with that, by her parents who were of Albanian descent. So here is where I hit my first independent idea. The fact that she was named this by her parents, and then we get that description of where her parents are from. If I continue looking in this sentence, I'm looking for another independent piece that could stand alone that gives me an idea about Mother Teresa. And we hit this. She was a Roman Catholic nun. And we can get missionary too. That really doesn't matter whether I highlight it or not or say that it's independent or not, because as long as there's nothing else in that sentence that can stand alone, like this descriptive phrase, then we should be good. So what we do is we check to see, okay, there's only two ideas. Check. If they're joining it, there's either a semicolon or a comma and a conjunction. So this sentence is boss. It's perfectly fine. Take that off. Okay, this photo is one of many examples of work Mother Teresa did throughout her life involving volunteer work with children and the ill. Okay, this photo is an example, and then it describes what the example is. So this sentence is fine. This one starts with a sense phrase, and it's going to be a fragment because what you're going to notice, what you should notice as I read through it, is that it's not going to complete this idea. Since she founded this, what happened as a result? So we're looking for that result. Since she founded the missionaries of charity with the mission of helping and looking after those who no one else would care for. Okay. Now the idea finishes here, that she believed that since she founded the missionaries, she believed that helping others was important. But this right here is going to be a fragment as well. So it doesn't finish its original idea. So far that's our first sentence here. Here's our second. And it's about, you can always look at the ands and say, is there a comma? And that can get dangerous because you don't always need a comma. It's just if it's a teeter-totter where it's balanced on either side by an independent idea. So right here, I'm just going to mark this and so that it stands out. You look to the left. Is there an independent idea here? She believed helping others was a fundamental aspect of life. Absolutely. You look to the other side. Can this stand independently as its own sentence if I ended it here? She believed it is the responsibility of all able-bodied people to carry out. So when you have those two pieces of independence, an and is never enough to join them. You do need a comma and a conjunction as well. Okay, I'm just going to go through and point out the other ones. Okay. Well, here's one that some of you guys are getting tripped up on. Remember that if there's a cause and effect word, a word that kind of cripples the sentence from standing by itself, such as we have here, you may think, well, that stands independently. Look at that independent piece right here. But this piece is not independent because it's in the context of a sentence or a phrase, that can't stand by itself. So a major idea that I believe and actively practice in my life is the idea of always maintaining a kind and compassionate demeanor. So you really have to get to the end of this phrase to be able to get independence as well. Here's the triple where you can kind of get tripped up because it sounds good and it's not really about length. It's more about structure. So I'm going to drive through here. I'm going to pick the pieces that can stand by themselves. Compassion and sensitivity are exemplified through her. There's one part. And then I'm noticing that it's joining correctly. I see that comma and that and. She shows that anyone is capable of making a difference in the world. But you're not allowed to join three parts of a sentence together. I don't know, the old grammar gods of time decided that. And so when you hit this third piece, that's how you know you have a run-on sentence. It's more about breaking the rules of how much you can have. It's polygamy instead of monogamy as well. And I hope walking through that helped you a little bit. And I hope that you have a good day.